like to see it open to the public. Simple mowing cloth through, nothing more than that. Play area for, play space for kids. No infrastructure, just play space for kids. And peaceful enjoyment. For the peaceful enjoyment of the people of Totnes, rather than sitting in the civic square where it's covered in stone and concrete and really human unfriendly. Take the children to their natural, conducive to be happy environment, namely a field, let them run round and let the parents be able to sit and relax knowing their children are safe. Let people walk through it every day as a shortcut between Castle Hill and Collins Road. It will improve their health, it will improve the safety of the allotments, it will improve the safety of Castle Meadow itself. The presence of people inhibits malfeasance. Long word, but it's true. The more people there are watching, the less trouble there is. So, that's what I'd like to see, nothing more than that. Green, open space, natural, for people to enjoy. No loud radios, no built playgrounds, no raves, no repetitive beats, no bonfires. I don't know, what else can you say no to? Just peaceful enjoyment. This is not for people to go mad in, apart from maybe the 3-year-old that needs to run around like crazy. And that's fine, they're not going to do any harm.
How would you feel about the possibility of there being sheep in here as well as people?
Well, I've seen no reason why the sheep can't share it with the people, but if you're going to have sheep in here, they've got to be properly looked after and properly managed. You can't have them escaping, you can't have them getting foot rot like they did last time. You can't have the meadow growing away from underneath them because there's not enough of them there. If you're going to have sheep, it's got to be done properly, and you've got to have at least the advice of a professional shepherd and the oversight of a professional shepherd. Other than that, why not? You could have people walking through with dogs on leads, and as long as the sheep are fenced in, and away from that hedge that the council encouraged us to plant at the top of the allotments, which would make nice sheep grazing and be nothing of a hedge if the sheep ever got to it. As long as the sheep are contained and the humans are responsible, and actually I have enough faith in human beings, particularly Totnesian human beings, that they can be responsible. Why not? The sheep would save on mowing costs, and I guess the lambs might even end up in the local butchers. That is what people grow sheep for here. Other than that, somewhere for people to have a little quiet picnic with their kids. Somewhere green, natural, and safe. Because it's enclosed, it's safe for kids.
Do you think there's any potential problem with the sheep getting into the allotments?
If they're not properly managed, yes. If they're properly managed, no. It's just, if they're just dumped on the meadow and left to it, yeah, of course they'll get in the allotments, because this is not good sheep grazing grass. It is not the sort of the thing that would make a sheep say yummy. However, all the cabbages, the lettuces, the peas and beans, even the raspberries there, they'd make a sheep say yummy. They'd make a sheep say very yummy.
But do you think the existing fencing is adequate?
Depends how hungry the sheep are, how big they are, and how athletic they're feeling. I've seen sheep get over more than that. If you put really vicious barbed wire along the top, it might work. That is the last thing anybody would like to see there.
Well, I noticed there's been a hedge, or the beginnings of a hedge, planted on the field side of the fence here, so that would need to be protected?
If you had sheep here, yes. You would have to keep them away from it. In about 10 years' time, it wouldn't be a problem. And that
what do you see as the biggest obstacle to having this put into action now?
Political offer that has come through from Totnes Development Trust. Money is not a problem. Time, research and whatever it takes to do this right is not a problem. They're offering to do it. It doesn't have to cost the council. The only thing now that this offer has been made, that I can see causing a problem is not so much political will as political won't. And political won't has been not to change things. But to leave this, to go to rack and ruin, and to go to rank grass, or to turn it into another place to dump sheep on and leave them to get foot rot and starve until they do come over there and eat our allotment vegetables, not on. No problem with sheep, but it's got to be done properly. There's nothing worse than people keeping domesticated animals who don't know what. Just as with the allotments, it was a question of how it was done. All the sheds are uniform, they are all up against the hedge, they are all painted green. This was specified by the town council, so we did it how they wanted it done. And that's fair enough.
And you've collected a number of names on a petition to have some action carried out now. So how many names have you got so far, do you know?
Because a lot of people are helping, I know that I've got in excess of 150. I believe other people may easily bring the total to 200, 250. I've got till the 6th of December. I'm hoping to have a couple more hundred than that, as many as possible. There is also an online petition accessed via Facebook or Care2 petitions. Just Google Castle Meadow petition, that should find it. And I'm treating that as a separate entity. And both petitions will be delivered to the council. I have to admit, I've met one or two people who did not feel that they wished to sign, and I'm perfectly, I think people should do.
Do they give reasons for that, or?
One person gave the reason that they lived in Collins Road, but then somebody else from Collins Road did sign. Another person said they were in two minds and they thought it might be better with just sheep. My thing is that there is an absolute dearth of green natural space near the top of town, near the market space, near the Civic. Leech Rock Garden is lovely, but it's very tame and it's very small. You need somewhere for small children to just be okay to run around. They don't need equipment, they don't need anything other than a safe space and a green environment.
One of the objections I've heard is that some people are afraid that it might become a haven for people doing sort of unofficial camping. I mean, maybe homeless people might come here and set up camps and things.
Well,
is that a possibility?
Homeless people could set up camping anywhere. Number one, people already come through the meadow, as you can see from the paths through it. Number two, if there is a constant through flow of people through the meadow, there is far less likelihood of people trying to set up unofficial camps. The more people use the meadow for what we would like to see it intended for what I'm arguing for, the less likely it is that somebody will sneak in here and put up a tent. At the moment, they've got a far better chance of getting away with it than they would if it was in use. So that's my argument to that. The other thing is, if people are reduced to putting up tents in a place like this, at this time of year, we need to be looking at our community. It's a question of community. And I think our community, our town, deserves access to something that they effectively own. And that they effectively, as far as I understand it, must have paid for when it was bought. It's the only occasion I know where somebody can be made to pay for something, or a community can be made to pay for something and then told they've no right to use it. I find that actually faintly offensive. I'm sure it's not meant to be, but that's how it comes across.
Carol Wellwood, thank you very much.
Thank you.